Hey, this is Jet from JechtSpencer.com, and before we get into this vlog, I want to have a quick one-on-one chat with you. What this video is going to detail is all the dirty little secrets behind being an entrepreneur, the behind the scenes that nobody actually wants to talk about. And there really is this huge idolization about what it actually means to be an entrepreneur in today's age. Most people have the idea about laying on the beach, they're sipping pina coladas, they're pounding martinis, they're just laying there surrounded by beautiful women as money just passively falls from the sky into their loving arms. And this isn't the truth about what entrepreneurship is. It's a massive amount of hard work, discipline, and dedication in order to actually become successful. And I think people have this unrealistic expectation. One example I can think of off the top of my head is the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. And I have nothing against Tim Ferriss, but the idea of a 4-hour work week is very misleading, but a very catchy title. And if I was to put my money on it, I would say that Tim Ferriss probably works more than 4 hours a week. Hell, he probably works more than 40, 60, maybe even 80 hours a week or more. Another big problem I see is there's so many people faking it. There's so many people pretending to be entrepreneurs, but not actually having anything to sell, not having any actual value to give. And a great example is somebody flies out to a place like Thailand or Vietnam or some tropical beach. They rent some condo, they find some models to surround themselves with. They get a nice car to rent, and then they say to you, hey, you know what? You can live this amazing life for only $3,000, one easy payment of $3,000, no cash back, $3,000, I will teach you how to live this glorious lifestyle as well. And that's just not the truth of it. If you're first starting out, this is going to be hard. It's going to be you with a machete just cutting through the jungle, seeing what works, testing, and ultimately getting to where you want to go. And what this video hopes to do is highlight that fact. So let's get into it right now. So just starting my morning off here and getting ready to get the day started. Alright, let's get into the workplace. Alright, so I'm just going to start with some of my morning practices here. And basically all I'm going to be doing is engaging with my audience. If you're bootstrapping, starting up a YouTube channel, or building an online business, you should be replying to every single amount of feedback that you're getting. Because if someone's commenting to you, it means that they care enough to comment. So this can be YouTube, this can be Snapchat, this can be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It really doesn't matter. Just make sure to engage with your audience until you get to a point where you just have way too many people messaging you. You hit 100,000 subscribers or 100,000 customers or what have you. You should be replying to every single person. So we're here on the YouTube Creator Studio right now, and we're just going to go to Community. And what we're going to do is we're just going to see if we have any new comments. So as you can see, I have a few comments here. A couple you can see I already replied to people. Usually if they leave multiple comments, I'll comment on one of their comments. We have one right here, Wisdom Traveler. It's pronounced as Chinaski. Okay, so this is a really old book review that I did probably about a year ago on Post Office by Charles Bukowski. And when I originally made the video, I didn't really know how to pronounce the main protagonist's name. So apparently I said it wrong. So he says Chinaski. So I'm just going to reply, yeah, Chinaski. Smiley face. So just a little bit of feedback. He gives me a message, I give him a message back, just to beat back and forth. Simple. Next person. Taking condoms off the floor to inseminate themselves? Bah ha 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 ha. You're clearly only able to get loser low-life women, even with this guy's tips. Ha 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 ha. Okay. So, when you put yourself out there and you're putting yourself on the internet, you're going to get trolled. You're going to get people that attack you. You're going to get haters. And it's just part of the, it's just part of the internet world. And if you take every single comment seriously, you're not going to be able to survive the internet. It's not going to happen. And if you're putting your truth out there, and especially if you're telling like stories like I told in that particular video, I did a review for The Rational Male by Rollo Tomasi. If you are going to get butthurt by every single negative comment you're going to get, you're going to lose your mind. At the end of the day, I don't care if you like me, I don't care if you hate me, but you will have a emotional effect. You will, see, look, boom, okay, cool. So look, I commented back to that guy, the original guy that I commented to, and boom, he already commented me back. He's like, indeed. So cool, so he's interacting with me again. That's awesome. Anyway, so back to this other guy. So he says, taking condoms off the floor to inseminate themselves, bahaha, you're clearly only able to get loser low-life women, even with this guy's tips, ha ha ha. So it really depends. If it's a comment that really doesn't add to the discussion, sometimes I'll delete it, but for the most part, I'll engage every comment, whether it's negative, positive, I really don't care. If someone's attacking somebody else, a lot of the time I'll remove the comment. But if they're attacking me, I don't care. If you have an emotional reaction, it means you're engaged. The fact that he's saying taking condoms, this comment or this particular part of the video is probably about 10 minutes into the video. And given the fact it's a 15-minute video, I know for a fact he most likely watched the entire thing. So that's a win for me. I don't really care. So I'll just reply to him. I'll say, I don't know, I'll just be honest with him. When you interact with, when you interact, date, and when you interact and date with as many women as I have in my life, you are likely to meet a few bad eggs. Just part of the game. Haha. So I'm not taking it seriously. I'll hit him with something like this. I'm not going to attack him back. Not going to jump into that low level energy. Just going to give him something that maybe he can laugh at, see if he enjoys it, and hit reply. So basically all I wanted to do was just showcase the fact that if you have comments, if you have people reaching out to you, you want to be engaging your audience. And this is just something that I do every day. So make sure to do that as well. Especially when you're first starting, you have the time, you have the resources, it doesn't cost you any money. And the more you engage your fan base, the more they're going to engage you back. So make that a key critical point of building up your business. Alright, I'm about to film a new book review, but what I wanted to highlight to you is the fact that you can see my workspace right here. It's very simple. I have a computer, I have a chair, I have a wall. This is where a majority of my filming actually happens. And I get a lot of messages from people saying, I don't have the best location to film. Doesn't matter. You don't need the best location to film. All you need is a chair to sit comfortably, a wall or just a regular background, and a camera to record with. Don't set the bar super high, just get the ball rolling and get started. I absolutely love doing book reviews and I just love books in general, but it takes a massive amount of time to actually read the entire book. And that's one thing where a lot of my time is actually expended. Most people, they'll go through the Spark Notes or go through a summary or just copycat somebody else, but I go from page 1 all the way to the end of the book, and I just take what I believe is important and share that with you. Because I don't want to go into a book thinking I already know what the important parts of it are. I want to read the book, internalize it, and then share the things that really touched me like on a deep, emotional, profound level. If you're trying to jump into affiliate marketing, I highly recommend reviewing books or reviewing products, whatever niche that you're in, whether you're doing cooking or fitness or whatever, it doesn't matter. Find a book of somebody who truly inspires you and review it, because basically you're just piggybacking off their greatness. If you ever read 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, he talks about how they jumped and piggybacked on eBay. eBay needed a way to process transactions, And so what they did was they took their own product, PayPal, and sold that to eBay. And that was a quick way of going about it. This is the same principle in action, just on a micro scale. All right, so we are getting into editing right here. And this is actually a finished product. This is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. You can check it out on the YouTube channel right now. But essentially what I wanted to show you was that it isn't necessarily the creation. It's not the filming. It's not going out to shoot that takes a lot of time. What takes a lot of time is the post-production. And you see this a lot in movies. They'll make a movie and they'll film it in like 3 months. But then you won't actually see that movie for like a year or a year and a half. Why is it taking so long for that movie to actually be created? It's because it's in post-production. It's making sure the audio is right, making sure the visuals look good, making sure that the timing and the scaling of everything is just pure and prominent. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, for example, in this video, I probably had close to 2 hours of actual content that I then broke down to only 15 minutes. So I wanted to find the most pure and the best content of everything that I said. Then I include some text in order to just really like hammer it home. So as you can see up on the top level here, I have the text. In the middle, I have the visuals. And on the bottom, I have the audio. Another great example, and I'll pull it up right here. One thing that I just want to say is that the best way of going about entrepreneurship, particularly if your particular brand involves a lot of creation, a lot of artistic flair, if you will, is that, let me just see if I can find this real quick. Okay, here it is. You want to be doing multiple projects simultaneously, because let's say you wake up in the morning and you're just a blogger. All you do is ever write. But for some reason, you just either have writer's block or you're just not feeling up to it. It's just like, you're just not connecting with the whole writing thing. If that's all you do, you're screwed. But let's say you have multiple projects going. Like example for me, I write, I have a blog, JechtSpencer.com. I do blog posts on it. But let's just say I don't feel like doing a blog post that day. I'm like, man, I can't do a blog post. So I'll go and film a book review. That's going to be my day. I'm going to go and film a book review, or I'm going to go film me working out, or I'm going to go do an interview with someone. But if those things, let's just say I don't connect or resonate with those particular things, then I have another project going. And this is one of the things I'm talking about here. I love doing motivational videos. It's really inspiring to me. I love listening to some just really typically deep classical music, something that is higher function, higher thinking, with someone with just a booming, resonating voice just telling me the truth about life and their core message that they want to share with you. And for me, like this particular video, man, this thing probably took, I would say 6 to 8 hours just to edit. Because basically what you have to do is, as you can see, I have different clips from a bunch of different movies. I got The Notebook, I got The Beauty and the Beast, I got 500 Days of Summer, I got more Notebook, I got Crazy Stupid Love, and I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, and I got Drive. Okay, so I have all these different movies. So basically I have to go into each and every one of these movies and find scenes that really resonate with me and something that I think people would appreciate, with some overtones of some great classical music, with me speaking into a mic and, sharing my truth with you. So basically what I'm saying in a very long-winded form is that have multiple projects going. Like for me, I got the blog posts, I got the book reviews, and I got the motivational videos. So I have 3 different things that I can work on. If I don't feel like doing one, I can do the other. If I don't feel like doing that one, I can do another. And I would say I would cap it around 5. I wouldn't do more than 5 projects at a time, because then what you might tend to see is that you're not going to finish your projects, or it's going to take a long amount of time for you to come out with content. And when you're first starting, you want to be blasting content like nobody else. You want to be putting out content every single day. If you have the time, you should be putting out a video or a blog post or a podcast or something every single day. You should be really just galvanizing the people and getting people excited about your product, getting people excited about your business, getting people excited about your truth, about your core, about your ethos, whatever it is that you want to share. Get people excited. And the easiest way to get people excited is by
consistently hitting them with new content. You're basically saying free content, free content, free content, free content, free content. And then after about 20 pieces of free content, you can then ask if you can get something in return. So, and most people are great people, and they'll see you're putting out this massive amount of value. Let's say you write a book, maybe you do an ebook, maybe you do a video product or something like that, and people will just buy in because they see that you're constantly giving value. You're going to create a product that's actually worthwhile, and people almost feel obligated to buy from you because they've received so much free stuff from you in the past.
All right, I'm about to upload a video now, and what I want you to be thinking about is pristine upload times. Whether you're a blogger or you're selling a particular product or you're uploading a video or a podcast, you want to be uploading at specific times of the day. You have to understand that most people are working 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 jobs. So they can only devour your content within certain times of the day. So you really want to build your business around those particular times. 7 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. And the reason why is this. Most people are driving into the city, going to their 9 to 5 job, and they're waiting. They're sitting in traffic, and that's a pristine time for them to go and look at your content. Same thing with 11 o'clock. Most people have a 12 o'clock lunch hour. They go to lunch. There's another opportunity for you to showcase your talent and your content. Then comes 5 o'clock. They come home from work. First thing they do, they jump onto the computer, they start surfing the internet, and boom, your content's right there. So make sure to be uploading at pristine times. Of course, with services like YouTube and other social media sites, you're able to actually queue your content so you can publish it whenever you want. But typically what I do, as I'm uploading my content, sometimes it can take up to 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. It really depends on the size of the file, but this is when I like to go to the gym. So let's go. All right, let's get ready to go to the gym. Whew. All right, let's do this. All right, this is a bit new to me, vlogging on the way to the gym, but I try to get to the gym every single day. I usually go 5 to 7 days a week, depending on how I'm feeling. Not emotionally, but physically, depending on how hard I work. But a lot of my gym sessions usually last between an hour and a half, 2 hours. And it's just a time to beat it. When you're stuck in a chair all day, the last thing you want to do is do something that requires you to be stuck in a chair. Like a lot of people, they spend their times playing video games or watching television or what have you. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But people would see themselves a lot happier if they did things like go to the gym, get outside the house and stuff like that. Because when you're working on a computer all day, you're shooting videos inside, you're reading, whatever it is that you're building your channel around or building your business around, the last thing you want to do is be stuck inside. So we're heading to the gym right now, and we'll see how it goes. So there is a subset of people that follow me simply based on my fitness tips. So what I end up doing is, rather than just going to the gym, getting buff and getting healthy, I actually document my progress as I'm moving forward, as I'm growing, as I'm getting more buff and more swole. And a very easy way of going about this is by using things like Facebook, Instagram, or Snapchat. I'm actually a Snapchat user right here, and all I'm going to do is just shoot a little video, just say what I'm doing, and just show the world that I'm a practitioner of the things that I teach. So we'll just do it right now. Here we are, never vlogged at the gym before. Back to church, baby. And it's just as simple as that. Just documenting your progress, showing the workouts that I'm doing, showing and recording every single little step that I'm doing along the way. So if people enjoy looking at my body, enjoy seeing the fitness results that I'm getting, they can literally just copy me from A to Z, and the next thing they know, they're getting the exact same results.
was a pretty good workout, pretty exhausted. Roughly about an hour and a half, 2 hours, so feeling pretty good, pretty sweaty. Now back home for more work, more hustle, more grind, more entrepreneurship. Let's go. Alright, so back to the grind again. Alright, the video is finished uploading, so what I'm going to talk to you about is actually delivering your content to the most people's eyes. These are very simple, these aren't any black hat tactics or anything like that. Just the basics, just the simple way of getting you started. So we're going to start with YouTube. YouTube itself doesn't have a forum or necessarily a community in which people can congregate and talk to each other. So in terms of actually uploading your video, particularly if you go through YouTube, just make sure that you don't have any typos, your tags are broad enough so you're going to be reaching the most amount of eyes, and also learn a little bit about copyright. I mean, you can see this video I have here, the truth about what women want. When you say something like the truth or the one thing or click this, people are drawn to these particular titles, and most people hate the idea of clickbait, but at the exact same time it works. And you have to use what works, and particularly when you're first starting and you don't have a huge galvanizing force behind you. Let's get into Facebook. Facebook also has a video feature that you can use in order to upload your own content, but I myself don't like to have my viewership split. If you're large enough, I would recommend just uploading to Facebook directly, but if you're not, then I would just stick with one particular channel, such as YouTube. Facebook's pretty easy. You upload your content. Make sure you have a nice message. Really, business is just being built around you solving a problem. So if somebody wants a girlfriend, promise them that you can get them a girlfriend. If somebody wants to lose some weight, promise you can get them fit. If somebody wants to learn how to cook something, tell them that you can teach them how to cook this specific dish. Whatever your niche is, it's ultimately about solving problems. So whenever you post a video, make sure you have some text along with it that is going to draw eyeballs in. The next thing I'll talk about is Twitter. Twitter does not have any video upload options. So you simply upload your content through YouTube. I know a lot of people really hail Twitter. They love Twitter. And one thing that you can do with Twitter is really communicate with a massive amount of people in a very short amount of time. So start seeking out other people there within your niche. If you're in the cooking niche, if you're in the fitness niche, if you're in the self-development niche, reach out to other people that are talking about that stuff and just start answering them. Start answering questions that people have. Find out the particular hashtags that are popular in your particular niche. Look up the top 10 hashtags for cooking, the top 10 hashtags for fitness, and then use those in order to get the most amount of people possible. The next thing I'm going to talk about is having a website. You want something that is ultimately your beacon, where people think of your particular brand and then they automatically think this particular website. If you're first starting, you don't necessarily need to have a website, but the earlier the better, because one, it just looks professional. Two, you can create an email that looks extremely professional, like myself, Jecht@JechtSpencer.com, professional. You can have just massive amounts of information. Plus, if you're a blogger and a vlogger, you can kind of bring them both together, because some people would rather read content while other people would rather watch content, and you can bring them both together. So you can do a video, and then below that video you can then talk about the book and continue to rattle off why you like a book, or why you like cooking something, or why this particular exercise is so great. The next thing, and I just kind of wanted to throw this in as a caveat, I recently did this and I had relatively good success. I posted this yesterday, have 44 likes, but for somebody that just join this particular subreddit, I'm talking about Reddit, by the way, yeah, I was blown away with just how many views I got, how many more people reaching out, asking about this particular topic. And I ended up shooting up a 3,000 word blog post on the Rational Male by Rollo Tomasi. And rather than just leaving it on my site and having 50 people see it in a day, instead I have thousands of eyes from people all around the world checking this out. What I would recommend is you don't promote yourself too early. All you want to be doing is just giving the most amount of value possible, because if you end up trying to promote yourself or promote a product and you haven't really cemented yourself within a subreddit, there's a great chance you're going to get banned by those particular mods. So also keep that in mind. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was writing articles, writing books, and blog posting. And this can really be the core of your message, because most people, in terms of their first product, oftentimes it's a book. And it's one of the easiest things to do, especially in today's age with Amazon, where you can self-publish. You don't even have to actually make physical copies of books. You can just sell through Kindle directly. So it's one of the easiest ways to just get your foot in the door for creating a first product. And this takes up a massive amount of time as well. It really depends on the size of what you're writing. Like if you're writing a book, I mean, that can take weeks or months and sometimes even years, depending on how much you're writing. And at the exact same time, if you're doing blog posts, like this blog post, for example, is 3,000 words that I just recently finished. And that took me a good 4, 5, 6 hours just to complete. Just finding the research, getting it all correct, making sure all the grammar was right, making sure everything was just solid and spot on. So I just really wanted to highlight the amount of time and effort and hours that are put in, especially when using writing, because most people go the video route. I highly recommend going both routes because you're going to get the most amount of people possible.
And that's all she wrote. I mean, this is just a normal day in the life for me. It really depends on what particular niche that you're jumping into. You know, everyone will have variants, especially if they're doing bricks and mortar as opposed to internet entrepreneurship. But I just wanted to showcase that it really is, it's vast amounts of hours. I mean, I think this thing started at, I think I started filming at 6 o'clock, and here I am now. It's almost 10:30, almost 11 o'clock, and I'm just going to bed now. And I want to remove the facade. I want to remove the idea that entrepreneurship is easy. I want to remove the idea that you can just make it, lay on a beach, be surrounded by girls, and just have money just fall at your fingertips. That's not how the world works. It takes a massive amount of time. If this was easy, everybody would be doing it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to get some sleep. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and or comment. Share this with a friend who you know needs it. Maybe you got a entrepreneur friend who says he wants to be an entrepreneur. Show him what's the real deal. Show him the truth about entrepreneurship. As always, good fortune to you, my friend. Oh. All right, let's get ready to go to the gym. Whew.